Shalom, shalom. What's going on, brothers and sisters? It's your boy, Brother Harold. Today is what? November 26th, about 12 o'clock, a couple days out from Thanksgiving. Cold outside, wet, raining, and everything. As you can see, your boy here sipping on a little bit of cocoa. Got a little marshmallows in and everything. You know, ain't got nowhere to go and stuff. Been in prayer, meditating a little bit, praying on some things, interceding for some people, you know, and everything. Taking this time out, spend time with the Father a little bit and everything. But I got an email, you know, someone was asking me to share my testimony and everything, you know. Oh man, I think, man, it's been so long, man. Sometimes, you know, you look at testimony, I look at it as being ongoing process. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, we're being delivered from something every day. Deliverance is a continuous thing. You know what I'm saying? That we go through all the time and everything. And I was thinking about testimony things, so I'm saying, well, it's raining outside. I'm gonna give a shot at it. You know what I'm saying? You know, do it in part, because like I said, if I go back and try to tell you the whole story, you know what I'm saying, really with just continuing going on, you know what I'm saying, you know, God delivered me every day from something. But, you know, the bulk of it is, though, like I said, you know, when it started and everything, you know, when you think about testimony, you know, you think about the word testimony. In order to have a testimony, you got to been able to went through some tests, you know what I'm saying, some temptations, some trials, you know, some tests, some trials, you know what I'm saying, and everything. That's what life brings, you know, and everything. So, you know, I think back, you know, my biggest one, where it all started, you know, probably I would have to say, looking back, graduated 1986. I graduated in 1986 or whatever, from 86 to 90. Well, let me do it like this. Okay, the biggest thing that, you know, my biggest hurdle, you know, before I became this new creature that God, you know, created in me, this new person, you know, through deliverance, you know, by Him and Him alone. You know, you go back, when you look back in, let's see, drugs, you know what I'm saying? Drugs was my thing, you know. Back in school, you know, started, you know, doing drugs, you know, typical teenager, whatnot, you know, 15, 16 years old, doing drugs, you know, smoking a little bit of weed, you know, what the young people, like the young people say, they smoke a little weed and doing this stuff. Now they got all this other kind of stuff out, mollies and all that, you know what I'm saying? You know, drugs, but, you know, drugs is drugs, you know what I'm saying? Anything gonna mind alter that state, you know what I'm saying? And everything. So I look back, you know, back in school, you know, doing drugs, whatnot, smoking reefer or whatever. And then, you know, then the cocaine thing came along, you know, back in the 80s, you know. I look at that, you know, getting, you know, when crack was it, you know, crack rock was all out there and stuff, you know, and your boy was out there, you know, try to sell a little bit, you know, try to sell a little bit, you know, try to use a little bit, you know, try to do both. But, you know, you're either going to be a dealer, you know, you're going to be a smoker, you know, one of the two, you know what I'm saying? So selling thing didn't work because I was smoking my own product, you know what I'm saying? So that didn't work out too good, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, make a long story short, you know, got out there, got strung out real bad. I'm talking about, man, when you look at drugs, you know, I even wrote some stuff down, man, thinking about drugs. You know, when I use drugs, you know, I use drugs to cover my feelings and stuff, how I was feeling at the time, you know, going through a lot of stuff, you know, teenager, whatnot, adolescence and stuff and everything, peer pressure, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just all kind of stuff going on in my life at that time, you know. I used drugs whenever it was necessary. I did whatever I could, you know, to get drugs. Many times I woke up sick, unable to go to work. You know, I had little jobs and stuff growing up, you know, or whatever, you know. There was times when I couldn't go to work, you know, sick and stuff, you know, hungover or whatever, drugs, you know, alcohol and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? But man, that crack, it got your boy. You know what I'm saying? Your boy was just in a bad state. You know, many times I stole to support my habit. Yes. I stole, you know what I'm saying? If you keep doing drugs, that's what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? I stole to support my habits and everything. I was always hurting the one I love, my family members, my sisters and everything. You know, I was hurting them, you know what I'm saying? Not even realizing it. You know, all my friends at the time were around, at least, you know, the ones that was there. You know, I did have some true friends that was there, and I had some so-called friends, you know, and everything. Them friends that you get high with, you know what I'm saying? It's really not your friends at all. But anyway, I found out that once I, got delivered from all that they really were my friends or whatever, So I'm kind of rushed through this and everything because I don't want it to be too long. But at the same time, like I said, that man, if I really told you the real everything, try to tell you everything, man, that'd be a part 1, 2, 3, and 4. We probably have a doggone movie sequence and everything. Probably be starting sometime next year. You know what I'm saying? A movie coming out. But anyway, I just want to go ahead and just give you a little update and everything, because somebody asked. You know what I'm saying? You asked for it, I'm going to tell you, you know what I'm saying? This is what your boy been through. Like I said, did what I could to support my habit, hurting people of love and everything. I did all these things, and at the same time, I was telling myself I can handle it. You know how you get, you see somebody with a problem or whatever, and you try to deal with it and everything. My family trying to deal with it, so I kept telling them I was all right, I can handle it, my friends or whatever and everything. I think I remember one time saying that, this crack cocaine thing, it ain't gonna never get me. I can't get addicted. I can't get, I bragged about the fact, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it had me already. You know what I'm saying? It had me in the chokehold, had your boy in the chokehold, And all this, I was searching for a friend because I was hurting, you know what I'm saying? I was hurting in the inside, didn't even know I was on the road to destruction. You know what I'm saying? I was on my way of going out, many nights, man, I done had suicidal thoughts, there were times, man, when I felt like, you know what I'm saying, that I know God didn't create me to be a drug addict, whatever, if I got to live life like this, I just want to take myself out, So I've been down that road. I know what it feel like to have suicide thoughts and stuff, you know what I'm saying, in your head and everything. And then even to the point, trying to carry it out, you know what I'm saying, my kids and everything, they saved me in a moment, when I was going through that, especially my son Kennard, I had it already planned out, but he came over, a little bitty or something, wanted to spend the night with his dad and stuff, so when he came over, you know what I'm saying, then the clock kept ticking, and when I supposed to been doing the time I supposed to been doing what I supposed to been doing, trying to get up out of here, I looked over there, my son was right there, I couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? So, Kennard, like I say, he literally saved my life that night, gave me something to think about, gave me something to live on for, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I thank God for that, at that time. But like I said, many times I felt that way. Trying to avoid reality, drugs brought on pain and misery. When drugs wore off, I realized that the problem was still there. It was only getting worse, you know what I'm saying? When the drugs gone, the high gone, you know what I'm saying? You still in the same situation, you know what I'm saying? Now, it don't matter. Because like I said, whether it's, narcotics, alcohol, whatever, people do it for the same reason, man. You're trying to fill a void. You're trying to relieve yourself from something. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I was in search for someone to feel my pain, to feel me, understand me for who I am and everything. Had a lot of stuff going on, man, growing up. You know what I'm saying? And everything. All in search, for a friend, looking for someone to be there for me and everything. So, and at that time, I knew, like I said, I knew that that I needed help or whatever and everything. And I remember my pastor at the time, Pastor James Richard, man from Union, he was telling me, that God, Jesus died for me, God wanted to deliver me and stuff. And then he started telling me, to come to church or whatever, and everything, and, and just allow God to do it and everything. So I did that. I was going to church at the time, and he said it didn't matter whether I was high or whatever. He wanted me there on Sunday morning because it was important for me to hear that word. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was going to be delivered or saved, that word was going to be the one to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, I would go to church, man. Sometimes I would be high, sometimes I'd be just got in or whatever, from a bend or whatever, man. that crack rock had your boy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it literally got so bad, man, to where, like I said, I was going to church and I was going down before the altar, man, every Sunday, man, just crying, asking God, to deliver me and stuff, to save me, to save my soul, and everything. And believe it or not, at the time there were church folks, mumbling and talking about me and stuff. Yeah, the body, church folks, what I'm saying, not perfect, what I'm saying, ain't going to be perfect until Jesus Christ come, what I'm saying, and some of the hurt, some of the meanest hurt you can get come from church folks. At that time, they was hurting me or whatever, but I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? If that was, the God, what we reading about, what we was talking about, if he was going to save me, then he was going to be the one to do it, and I really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Even though I heard people murmuring and talking, and there you go again, and everything, so it really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because all my faith in God, I was learning to walk this thing out by faith. But anyway, to make a long story short, kept going to church Sunday after Sunday, whatever, still missing the mark, whatever. But God still was working at the time and everything. Then, things that got so bad, man, I had to go to the rehab, had to go into a rehab place, got shipped out to Greenville or whatnot, told my homeboy Raymond Austin, look, man, your boy going to get some help, man. I think at the time, man, he was the only one, congratulating me, Bug, you're doing the right thing and stuff, trying to get help and stuff and everything, because this, this thing had grabbed a hold to me, So he gave me a fresh haircut at the time, and I left out that Monday, man, supervisor, all the people at the job had to tell me what's going on there. I need some help and everything and stuff, so they sucked me out, So I went to rehab, went down to North Greenville Hospital, stayed down there 30, 35 days, 40 days, whatever. At the same time, like I said, NA going to the meetings and everything. Let me say this about NA. Narcotics Anonymous, hey, man, they say it work if you work it. And to be honest with you, yes, it does. If you continue to go to the meeting, yes, it will help. Because that's through Narcotics Anonymous, you know what I'm saying, it opened me up to not only receive God more, but to develop a personal relationship with Him. Let me tell you what happened. So, they had a chapel and everything. So, in my own free time, I would go in the chapel and stuff, and pray and everything, trying to, allow God to come in, just doing my own little individual devotion or whatever. And everything, and I would do that, and I would, let my family know what was going on. They came down to visit me a couple of times, check me out, and everything. And I wish I could show you that picture, what I looked like before I went in there, because I think Nancy done hid it somewhere because it was pitiful. You know what I'm saying? I was less than 100 pounds. You could see the bone structure in my face. My eyes were sagging in. I had lost all kind of weight. That crack, it had me. You know what I'm saying? The bottom of the bottom. But you know what I'm saying? But like I say, I was seeking help. So they took a before picture and they took after picture when I left. They gave me vitamins and stuff and did what they could, to get me right, got me back eating good and stuff. And we was going to meetings out and this and that and everything. So left rehab and everything, came back to the church, whatnot and everything and stuff. And really, really, like I said, really still, not really complete delivered, but feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Some type of something still was going on. But anyway, so I went for like 3 weeks to a month out and everything. Had a relapse, whatever, found myself, going through the same thing again. Now let me tell you what happened. The day finally came. Now this is the day of victory. I was in the crack house on a cold winter night. Something like this. Felt about like it feel outside now. It was real cold. Raining and wet. And the drug dealer had my car. He was out making runs or whatever. I was in the crack house in the back room. People were still coming to the house getting drugs or whatever and everything. It was real cold and everything outside. And I remember back there smoking crack and I had ran out of money and everything. And it's like everybody was gone. And I was just there to myself. And I was like, Lord, I said, I'm tired. I said, I'm so tired of this. I said, I done seeked help and everything. Now I find myself going through it again, And I said, I remember saying this prayer. It wasn't a perfect prayer. It was just a cry out. It was like, Jesus, everything I done heard, what I'm saying? If you're there, deliver me, set me free. I want, if I got to live life like this, I don't want to be here, And I remember looking downward. Then all of a sudden, it's like that room in that crack house just lit up. Just lit up. It was just like white. And like I said, when I looked up, I really couldn't see an image or whatever, but it was something there, some type of presence that was standing in front of me. And I heard with my spiritual ear and my physical ear, I heard the voice of Jesus Christ and said that I will be with you even until the end of the earth. You are set free. And at that time, I didn't know what was going on. Like I said, I'm still high. I didn't know if I was I'm high, I'm what's going on. But like I said, the room that was radiating with light, and then, like I said, even unto the end of the earth, behold, I am with you. You have been set free. So then that light that's faded away or whatever, and from that day, when I left, like I said, drug dealer, he brought my car back, whatever. But from that day I left. It's like God took the urge, immediately. No more nothing, no more. They're set free, total set free. I really can't explain it no other way. You know what I'm saying? To God be the glory. Set totally free from that moment on. I'm talking about, listen now, I've been clean for 23 years now. And like I say, this didn't happen in a church house. This happened in a crack house. I had an encounter. You know what I'm saying? I heard it with like I said, I know what I heard. I know what I seen. You can say I was high. You can say whatever. But the only thing I do know, God did a work. God did something to me that night, that cold winter night, rainy night, inside a crack house. He touched me, and I heard that he would be with me even until the end of the world, of the earth. He said, I am free. And when I left, I've been free ever since. Drug set 23 years, sobriety, free, no crack cocaine, immediately. I'm talking about immediately. To God be the glory. I'm talking about, and like I said, I think back now and I look and I said, man, my wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, but even when I was going through all that, man, when I was in the hospital, man, in rehab, she came down there. She was with me through it all. She saw me at my work. I'm talking about less than 100 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Skeletor. That's what I was. On my way out, she was there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I went on to get married with her and stuff and everything. And like I said, 23 years now, clean, set free. To God be the glory. Called to the ministry in 95, got my license to preach, ordained, touched by God in 1996, and everything. Right there at Mount Calvary Baptist Church. And like I say, that's my testimony. That's just a little bit, like I said, the best I could, much as time will allow. But at the same time, just like I say, to God be the glory. And like I said, if he did it for me, he'll do it for anybody. He'll do it for you, whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be drugs or whatever. Whatever you're struggling with. If you give it to him, he will be with you even until the end of the earth. Because that which he started in you, he will complete it up until the day of redemption. See what I'm saying? So, like I said, I hope that's helpful. 17 minutes in. I hope that's helpful and everything. But thanks for the email. Continue to get in touch with me or whatever. And y'all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if you're out there traveling and whatnot, or whatever you're doing out there, just be careful. That your brother Harold love you. Y'all have a blessed day. And I'm out. Shalom.